I was looking at the MuckRock dashboard and it said that requests filed through MuckRock have gone to 26,000 agencies, most of which are state and local entities. So I'm wondering, with the perspective of, the bird's eye view that you kind of have with this, are there certain kinds of state and local records that are especially difficult to obtain? And are there tips that you can offer our listeners for filing more effective requests to get them?
I found there's roughly three categories, and you could come up with a lot more categories, but three broad categories I would say are more challenging than others. I would say anything to do with policing and security, commercial interests, but then also confusing or vague requests. And I think this is one of the areas where there's a lot of misalignment between agencies and the public, right? I think we're used to Google, where we can kind of type in a topic and get good results back. With public records, a lot of times it's shocking, particularly at the state and local level, how paper-based these records are, how many different information systems agencies have. And so we might go and say, hey, we know the agency is up to this. I want records about that. And then the public records officer processing your request has no idea how to actually conduct that search. They're not sure which office within their department you want them to look through. And so I think doing some research and kind of figuring out, okay, what records do I know exist, or who might have these records, and trying to figure out, one of the things I always tell people during trainings is sort of try to step into the mindset of a bureaucrat and imagine, where are the records that you care about? How would you describe them? How would they work? Who would have access to them? And then use that to kind of really guide that public records officer to exactly what you want. I've spent a lot of time at FOIA officer conferences. One of the requests that they hate the most is, I want any and all documents about X. And that seems like a very good request to most people, right? If you're just like Googling, that's how you Google. But I think if you're filing a public records request, they want you to figure out what are the specific records or data that you're looking for, so that they can be explicit. It's kind of like a hyper literal sort of thing. And so I think getting your request from being very vague and broad, even if it doesn't feel that way to you, even if it's a big news issue, just put yourself in the mind of sort of who's working at that government agency, and take it from there.